Hello. Today we are talking. I said today, but we've made like a bunch of videos today.
Like three.
Three? I don't know. At this current point in time, which is roughly 6:34 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is not where I live, we're going to be talking about this mask. Now, there's been much discussion about these. In particular, there's one photo where it's like this much of the mask, and
That's like the only confirmed photo we have of one of those.
yeah. Now, what's interesting is people have been saying for a while there's black PMGs. There are definitely no black PMGs. However, there are black 70Ms, as you can see here. All the other ones are fake. And we actually managed to... It's interesting, on email a while ago from some guy who lives outside of Chicago, and he said he couldn't really disclose any information like his name or like what he had or how he got anything, but he said that he may or may not have a dog, and I said, well, that's pretty cool. And yeah, that was basically the end of the conversation. It couldn't tell me anything more. But a couple of weeks later, yeah, this materialized in my house. It was inconvenient because, you know, normally when things materialize in people's houses, they have some logic or reason to them. I only found this because the sink started backing up, and I had to snake it out.
That's how I found my my second AT. I was squirting Cheese Whiz and it came out of the can.
Yeah, it's dude, I don't know. I guess that like either whatever magical field that holds the world together is getting lazy, or some kind of coding error has occurred regarding the spatial location of anomalous objects. But point is, anyway, this thing manifested at some point in my house rather inconveniently, and after weeks of carefully piecing it back together, we've determined that this is what it is.
And
yeah.
the black SHMG face piece, or I guess it's technically a 70M because it's Hungarian and not Russian.
It's totally not Russian.
It's totally not Russian. These were developed specifically for officers, as you can see, because it uses black rubber. But at that point, they had realized that, you know, the SHMG design was not the greatest, so that's when they decided to copy the French, and because they needed something more terrible than what they already had. So there's very few of these floating around, and as you can see, and the main indicative feature of a black SHMG/70M is the fact that obviously it is black for officers, and then also the fact that you have the Herngal dingus on the bottom of the scrungle.
Anyway, another interesting feature that they added to these masks, as you can see, is they actually added this because they realized, Hungary realized that the Soviet Union wasn't going to last forever, and they didn't know if they wanted to go to NATO or GOST with their next mask, and so they decided, logically, what they would do is they would just put this on here, and you could put a hose on there of any length that could go to any filter. That way, even if...
Or any storage closet.
Yeah, so if you had an issue, and eventually the Hungarians ended up being part of America, you could actually relatively easily use a rocket fuel filter with these. So they made the mask as universal as possible.
Perhaps the most spectacular feature about this mask is its carrier. As you can see, the SHMG was designed to be a compact, lightweight mask, and as such, the Hungarians took it a step further and issued it in this ever so lightweight, compact carrier. The entire mask fits up and folds up and fits up in the carrier, and fits up and folds up in the carrier.
Okay, you're having a stroke.
I'm having a stroke, but it fits up and folds up in the carrier.
Anyway, the other important thing to notice with this is they really went all out on their face forms, as you can see. It's rather large, but it keeps the mask in perfect shape, and yeah, I don't know, it's pretty cool. Anyway, that's really about it for this. Show you around the outside. It's also worth noting this does have tinted lenses in it.
Yes, for anti-nuclear flash protection.
Or welding.
Or welding, because, you know, it's versatile. It's a very versatile mask. Use it for anything. Use it for bar mitzvahs, use it for chlorine, use it for your second uncle twice removed. Use it for anything, honestly. Also worth noting is the nape strap is different from the usual ones, because as you can see, it is made out of carpeting. It is literally made out of welcome mat material, because that is a indicating feature that the Hungarians were welcome to NATO standards.
This is also useful because when they were getting hit from behind, the guy could grab this.
Yeah, it's an emergency removal strap. Just remove the corpse from the field. Anyhow,
That wasn't the kind of hit from behind I was thinking.
Anyways, that's pretty much all there is to cover on this. Did we miss any other details, Milosh?
No, not really. It's a good, solid kit, and it's a shame there's not more of these because it's honestly, I mean, it's a mask.
It's a mask.
This one, incredibly, is actually a lot closer. I'd say that this is a solid. It's not a full face mask because you have the cutouts, but I'd say this is probably a good 80% mask.
Yeah, it's at least a 75% mask.
I give it a solid 5 out of 7. So yeah.
That's about it. If you have any comments, questions, or comments,
Fuck off.